elementary particles. Go Breeze, the government party line contacts with a politically correct little grave. They have, these are iron drive craft, because when they land, they sinter and they bake the ground so that no grass can live, can grow there for more than a year. The electromagnetic drives not only do not bake and sinter anything, but crops continue to grow without even developing a burn on them. They just bend horizontally and start growing horizontally. So even in the iron drives, we see that the drive has some circle to it. Whether this is a condenser plate coupled, this is not the light, this is the drive system. This ring and the thing creates a very powerful light. It may also be an electrostatic condenser type anti-gravity, but we will not go. I'll go over these in the book that I'm finishing right now. I mean, there's so much about anti-gravity drives. One can easily write 1,000-page monograph just going briefly over them. When these iron drive craft land, they burn and sinter the ground, and it remains here. Yeah. Sometimes they will produce ice in midsummer, 1 inch to 2 inch thick ice, due to condensation, rapid condensation of vapors, or due to creation of the ice out of the ether. Basically, the angel dust that falls off flying saucers is a byproduct of their saucer drive that creates objects out of thin air, out of the ether, the way the yogis can create gold objects or other things. The adepts, like Sai Baba, can create objects out of thin air.
One of the signatures of free energy machines is cooling things down quite a bit. Maybe that's a signature from a free energy type drive too.
Very good point. Cooling down may be a signature of a free energy type drive, as it is a signature of the free energy machines. Again, we have a Go Breeze craft, and we see the drive a circular shape. Here, this is a detail that nobody has observed so far. From Bud Hopkins' book, his first contracted case, the landing track, this is how his research started. He realized that, and this is not a figment of the imagination, if you have a big spot of grass in your backyard that stays there for several years, what I discovered that nobody else has discovered, here on the photograph there's another jet that goes in this direction. This is a direction tangential to this disk. My suspicion is that just before takeoff they fired a shot of some energy in this direction and another one in that direction in order to spin the disk in order to take off. Because this could have been in a radial fashion, it could have been in any other angle of all the other possible angles, which are quite many here. This is in a tangential direction. It could be a jet of energy that was used to spin the drive of the craft before takeoff. Another circle of an iron drive. After the contract he reports, there are a lot of inventor stories and reports about anti-gravity. And can we do the focus? Oh, here is my problem. And here in this research, the inventor created some spinning gyroscopic constructions, quite a complicated construction. Several gyros, baby gyros that would spin together, lifting the whole craft upward. Another academic report from Frank Close from the Rutherford Appleton Research Laboratory in England, which is something like Los Alamos here in this country. He talks a lot about gravity negation through rotation, and I can quote here: just as rotating electrical charges feel the magnetic forces, so will spinning masses experience magnetic anti-gravity.
What year was that written?
This is the Manchester Guardian, Friday, March the 14th, 1964. I got in the library. So again, we have a connection between anti-gravity and rotation. Actually, electromagnetic-gravitic drive. Recently, in an article about the American Olympic Committee for discus throwing, there was a little miniature fact there that when they removed the weight of the discus from the center and concentrated it on the periphery, that increased greatly the throw length of the discus. When a discus is thrown, it spins. By moving the mass from the center to the periphery, we do not increase the radius, but we increase the flywheel momentum. A flywheel of a car is made such that it is edge heavy and center light. It's thin in the center and all the mass is concentrated in the edge in order to accumulate more energy. If a flywheel is built in this way, it accumulates a lot more energy than if the mass is concentrated in the center. So, by working on one of the variables of the anti-gravity formula, they were able, without realizing it, to increase the throw distance of the discus quite substantially, 40% or something. I heard that in the Second World War there was a frisbee-type grenade that they were throwing, spinning, and that would fly a lot longer than a normal grenade. A guy who was a general in the Marine general, I think, from the Marines, told me about this grenade, and I'm trying to get it from the Quantico, Virginia. They have a big marine museum there. How to build a flying saucer. This is more of a tabloid and popular nature, but in this book they discover a very interesting gyroscope experiment. Let's forget about this gyro and think about this one here. A spinning top, if it is spun along a horizontal axis, it spins, supported on both ends. But if you remove one of the support, instead of falling down, it does not fall. It starts processing like this, without falling. Basically, it hangs on its end. Now, if we introduce force through the shaft by force processing it, it will start raising up. If we apply a brake on the shaft and slow the speed of rotation, it would fall down. We can literally make it go up and down by increasing the speed or decreasing it. So if we have two of them here, they will do the same. They will go up and down, if we increase the speed or not. We can put an electric motor here and a third one here, and basically make quite a funny looking design. But if this thing is glued here tight, because they cannot go upward, they cannot bend the shafts, but they still want to go upward, they would pull the whole contraption out, and we would have the Munchausen effect. You can pull yourself up literally by the hair without stepping on any other outside supports. Just you do quick spinning with your hands and you start rising vertically. This is what anti-gravity is. So this simple physics experiment, and by the way, if you look carefully in physics textbooks, all experiments with gyroscopes have been quietly removed. A recent Scientific American booklet on rotation, and I love their incredible